Oh, what a day, a glorious day for a God dream. What a day, what a glorious day to have God-mindedness in every little detail, from sunrise to sunset and into the evening. And the last waking moment before sleep tonight, we are saying, God, my love, my all, my God, my love, my all. What a day for a God dream it is. Welcome, Soul Rebels. I appreciate each one of you, and what you appreciate appreciates. So it keeps growing. Love is growing. Our tree of life is showing little buds of soul qualities, just ready to, make it through the freeze of the cold this winter, and then have the spring of springs, starting, quite frankly, right here, right now. Good morning, that ING. Blessings, blessings, tidings, good tidings to all. So just want to ask you all maybe to close your eyes and lift your gaze to the spiritual eye, your heart centered in that beautiful light of your spiritual eye, filled with devotion, filled with delight, filled with this most beautiful anticipation for God's presence here, now, only in the eternal now. No past, no future, just the now. And we are going to learn about some self-mastery today. We are going to learn about what it takes to be this devotee that no matter what the mind says and what people say and what the family says, that we are just totally 100% devoted to the experience of oneness with God in the shortest time period that we can create, a beeline to the divine. We're going to see how Father Time is an absolute delusion today. We are going to learn about the Lion King, the king of the beasts today, the one who runs the show. That's that Queen Soul, King Soul, but really it's that high self of ours that we need to put in place. That's the king of the forest right there. And we're going to learn about the birds, that bird that this flies off into God's presence and never comes back. It's called Garuda. So I'm asking everyone, turn off your videos, please. Turn off your videos and audios and only tune in to what I just mentioned. The heart concentrated on the ever enlarging light at your spiritual eye. Oh, my mind, learn thou self-control. Oh, my mind, learn thou self-control. Go not in the house of senses, go not in the house of senses. Learn thou self-control. Oh, my mind, learn thou self-control. Go not in the house of senses, go not in the house of senses. Learn thou self-control. Oh, my mind, learn thou self-control. And with your heart tuned, with your heart inspired, with your heart aflame for God's desire for union with Him. Every breath, every moment, in every way, every day. Oh Lord, we thank you that you are us and we are you. And there's nothing in the universes to be concerned about here unless we forget thee, because anxiety is when we leave you out of life, when we leave you out of our plans. So let's all celebrate our constant remembrance of the one love, the one light, the one presence. Presence is the only presence we ever need, is the presence. The gift of this present moment is presence. May we be filled with presence. So it is. We are so grateful for all that we have. We are so grateful and so appreciative that every moment with you, Lord, is a moment spent to our greatest advantage and will stand on to eternity, every moment with you. We thank you that you're giving us this grace to be with you every moment because you are with us always. Om Shanti Shanti. Amen. Happy days are certainly here again, my friends. We're going to jump right in and finish this morning, verse 29. And we're going to look at I am Yama, God of death among all controllers. Was the last one in this little section of those aspects of divinity that you and I are. See what a celebration this is? I told you, what a day for a God dream. Whatever God is, we are. Whatever he has is ours. It's so simple, isn't it? Don't you love simplicity? Don't you kind of just turn the other way when it comes to having something mixed within you and you can't decide? Those are called mixed emotions. They're always part of duality. So you might as well get out of that mind of yours and just have that single mind that the only thing here now is presence. The ever living, loving, eternal now presence, just here now in this breath, in this moment in our hearts with our one divine friend and beloved. So we're going to look at Yama, and basically this is what Yogananda comments on page 794. We're still on chapter 10, book 2, God talks to Arjuna. And Yogananda comments, Yama, the god of death. Don't you love Yama, the god of death? Yama means self-control. Don't you love the fact that you have natural abilities, supernatural abilities to control every aspect of your mind, every aspect of even your breathing, every aspect of your choices, everything, that you are the number one controller of everything. And if you can control self-control and be your capital S self, so you are using your soul to control the little self, right? That you will have no fear of death. So we're going to look at that self-mastery a little bit right now in the following words. And just what a day for a God dream, kids. Come on. You're dreaming anyway. Why not dream the God dream? The truth dream, the wisdom stream, the happiness stream, the lack of anxiety. No anxiety. Anxiety only is because you leave God out of the picture. For whatever reason, you just leave him out. Whatever it is you're doing, you just left him out. You just forgot about it. But there's no anxiety when your heart is aligned with that divine, and you are singing your happy tune, and you're dreaming the God dream. So Yama, the god of death. So we die daily. So we leave this earth, we leave ourselves, the little self, we leave all the worries and fears especially. That's why we have so many. That's why God made this world so difficult. So we would have no other recourse but turning to him. Don't you love it? The god of death is represented as a deity who leads the astrally embodied souls. That's us when we leave the physical body and we're in our astral forms. And we just said, adios, amigos and amigas, and everything else that's going on in our life, because we have no memory of all the important things that we've been doing lifetime after lifetime. And all our little things that we're still looking forward to, hopefully not without God, If it is, it's a waste of time, dears. And you cannot be in the future and be in the present moment of love at the same time. Choose. have your astral body help you out here. So this Yama, this god of death, is represented as deity who leads the astrally embodied souls of men and women after death into one of the, this is not us, one of the darker, or this is us, brighter regions of the astral world. We're going brighter, you know, we're going happier. We're going to the best, you know, little rest stop in between worlds, in between lives that we've ever had. We're on track for the best, because the best is right here, right now, as we just feel God's presence with us, as we relax into God's presence with us right now, as we have absolute total trust. That is the key, man, that there is nothing happening by coincidence, that Divine Mother has you covered and her helpers today. As you walk, as you do the dishes, as your mind's trying to remember God, as your heart wants to reach out, sometimes you might even have a teardrop come down your eyes because God is opening up that heart and you're feeling more compassion for everything and more love for the sacred and everyday living. Just everyday living becomes extraordinary, becomes supernatural living, all right? Because you are really supernatural. So we're going to the brighter regions of the astral world. Yama's going to show us around according to each individual's karmic merit. So ideally, we're burning up all the old stuff that keeps the veil pretty thick, and our souls eclipsed, and our hearts mixed emotions, and our mind all over the place, right? We're burning, we're toasting that through the remembrance of God, through a devoted heart, through taking on all these aspects of God. God says, love everything I have made. Since we're in a so-called physical world with a lot of objects and forms and everything under the sun here, right? Let's love everything. Because, you know, true contentment only can happen when we radically accept life as it is right now, who we are, what we're doing, what we're thinking right now. We radically accept it. Then we have a chance for positive change, says Carl Jung. The word Yama means control, and specifically self-control, the power to guide, restrain, and govern oneself. Don't you love that quality of yours called self-control, of the soul control? You're soul-driven, right? You've already hired your soul as a designated driver of the car of your life. You're cooking, baby. That self-control is going to take you on the straight and narrow. You're going to be flying down the highway to the great spirit soul bliss. Among all forms of self-control, of all the types of controllers, the paramount force is that associated with control over the life principle. Imagine that you are in perfect control over your life force principle, or the life principle, that you have mastery over yourself, that you can hold your mind steady for as long as you want to on the bright side of life, that you can release a worry because you have the immediate mastery of being in your heart, and then just creating so much love in your heart that whatever it was that was taking you away from your goal, your God dream today, and the oneness with God today, it will be instantly repaired, so to speak. It's like the best recovery you can have is to come back into your heart when you are the least thing, the furthest thing away you might have gotten. Now you come back to your heart on a dime, and you just love and conquer and toast whatever that distraction was. Could be karmic, whatever, doesn't matter. What matters is you come back to your heart and just love and love until it hurts no more, right? You just love and love till it hurts no more. So if things are difficult for you today, same principle. You're going to love through it. What a reminder! All the difficult things you're feeling, kind of just perfect reminder to love more today. It's about always loving more in your heart space, having the mastery over loving of your heart space, loving, and your mind quiet and cloistered in that heart, right? You have mastery over that. Through Yama, the god of death, there is enforced. So if we're not awakened enough, we're going to be forced. But Yama's supposed to be so kind and gentle, though. But he will enforce, this is his duty, he will enforce control or restraint of life as it is forcibly withdrawn from the body at death. Hello, Yama. But this is the big but on a good way for us. This is us, though. This is that supernatural us. The yogi who attains full self-mastery. Self-mastery. Yama, self-mastery, self-control. However, has conscious control over life and death. Rejoice, kids. You have conscious control over life and death. It won't be a surprise. Divine Mother is walking with you and her assistants, where if you're in your house walking and you're putting your socks on, that she's got her assistants and herself helping you put those socks on. And she, wherever you go, she's got her entourage. It's a mother bear, man. She'll never let her cub be unsafe. So please totally trust that whatever happens today, she has allowed to happen because she's the one that is the compassion, the understanding, and the contentment, okay? So you don't have to ever question what happens today, whether it's dealing with you personally or your loved ones or this world or the world news. It's all her, okay? Let her run the show. She just wants you to be muy contento and muy happy and her little babe because she wants to carry you today. So we have self-mastery and conscious control over life and death. That yogi can take her or his consciousness and life force at will in and out of these mystery portals where Yama takes us, usually forced into the inner worlds and takes you to where you have your merits lie or the merits don't lie. I think, Mickey, we all got it popping on here for a moment. Can you please shut down your videos, kids? I would appreciate it. Thank you. So we enter the mystery portals on our own because every time we sit to meditate, we go to the mystery portals, don't we? Don't we? Isn't it a mystery? Isn't it a mystery that you solve every time you sit to meditate and you just are in awe because your mind's going quiet and your heart is filled with love and your cells are kind of tingling with nothing that you took, nothing that the world can give you, and it's tingling with the real joy of your being. Come on. Come on. This is a God dream. What a day for a God dream. Right? What a day. What a life for a God dream, not a human dream. Forget your human dreams. They're a dream. And even this God dream is a dream, but at least it's leading you to being awake, where the other leads you to being miserable. So we get to go in and out of these mystery portals as a free traveler in Yama's after-death regions. What an adventure we're on. And also in the boundless domain of spirit beyond vibratory taint. Vibratory taint. There's something that is very unreal about anything that vibrates, anything that has vibrated to a point where it's condensed into any kind of form. There's something amiss. There's some hokey pokey going on there. There's some magic. There's a spell that's going on there to have any kind of form, to condense the formless, infinite, vibrationless spirit into a vibration so condensed it's like water turning into ice. You know, the colder it gets, the colder your heart gets, the colder your mind is, and in indifference to the source and to this right now loving present, the greater is going to be our problemas. But maybe that's what we need a lot of. I know it's been my savior, even though I would have rather it not be a problem or not be a karmic thing. But hey, let's welcome them. Welcome how things go, kids. Don't even second guess yourself anymore. Don't even question a thing anymore. Divine Mother, thank you. And if you have to say, Divine Mother, I don't know why I have to go through this, but you do, and that's good enough for me. That's what I call total trust. You know, and that's good enough for me. So we're in a balanced domain of spirit beyond vibratory taint, if you want to go there today, with Yama, with your self-mastery, getting even more masterful. Beyond vibratory taint, where no specters of death and compromising change may enter. Can you imagine? No death, no birth, no death, no caste have we. Can you just imagine? Come on, dream the God dream. Be God-minded. That's what I'm calling this stream, because you're going to meet somebody coming up who's very God-minded. Prahlada. So how is that? And then I have a little stream that popped up, a little daily download of divinity. I love those things. And it's called The Game of Life. The Game of Life. But it's really about winning the game of life. Self-mastery. Okay, you want to listen? You want to close your eyes and have a God dream? Huh? Letting go of all your earth to-dos, all that, letting your vibrations slip, and then now you're back to the day. We had our Gita stream, now you're back to the day. Come on. You have the Gita stream so that you're in the stream with God's dream. Okay. So this is the game of life. The following are strategies to help you win the game of life, especially when you feel like you're losing. Ride the next thermal draft of a high aspiration. Stay high. Don't ever let yourself down. And glide over the part of you that is always looking down. Glide through the nebulae of the mystery, all right? I soar to the heart of eternity. I glide in the nebulae of the mysteries. And I fly into the light of the ever new joy. Oh, 'tis lovely, sitting in the silence with the masters by my side. Ride the next thermal draft of a high aspiration. Glide over the part of you that is always looking down. Breathe deeply the fresh air of hope until your human eyes look up to greet the majestic part of you that is always seeking higher elevation of consciousness and newer adventures in spiritual living. Basically, seek altitude. First step for the person that wants self-mastery. Seek altitude. Here's another key point to seek altitude, to master yourself. Clear your mind waves and receive the latest update from your heart. Message incoming from the source of love always carries a joy vibration. Generate joy. Any way you can is a top priority of your life today. Joy are us. Generate more love in your heart. That's going to always carry a joy vibration. So you can generate, as top priority of your life, more joy today. How's that for number 2 for self-mastery? Number 3, lower the stars of heaven to within reach of your consciousness. So you don't lower, You bring the higher right into your reach, within reach of your consciousness, my dears. So you can touch the luminosity of the light of God within you. Woo. Incubate yourself and our world in its unconditional love of that light, the light love and the love light. Incubate yourself in our world in its unconditional love. Beams in its love beams until your next motive is to be love and see light. 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 Maybe make that your little masterpiece this morning. The little piece of wisdom that can help you master yourself, your masterpiece. All right. Be love and see light. Good one. That's one to carry in your pocket today. Love what you look at long enough, and what you look at will turn luminous from the light emanating from within you. It's already here. And within it simultaneously, within you and within it, the love light simultaneously. Let there be light. So you have elevate, seek altitude, you have generate more love, so you have more joy. Joy are us. And let there be light. Number 4, dress up with your finest attitude and best fitting soul confidence. Ah, man. Like this is not, there's no, you've got your 2 swords. They've been working steadily. You're doubt slayer. You're a doubt slayer. And you've been slaying away all doubts so that you have the confidence now. You have self-capital S confidence of who you are, right? And you're on a beeline to the divine. Getting ready for 2024. It's an 8-year. It's the infinity sign. So you have infinite new realizations coming up. That's why we're preparing like we are right now. Get ready for an 8-year of infinite realizations and adventures in spiritual living, my dears. So get dressed up with your finest attitude and best fitting soul confidence, and make some calls about life that you might think are risky. Make a statement. Walk tall. Give love to everyone. And most importantly, dare to be different. If you could be different today, more of your supernatural self rather than your frumpy human natural self, oh my God, that would be a major victory, wouldn't it? So most importantly, dare to be different. From my perspective, it's always better to express your intuitive best than to play safe, conforming to mediocrity. Your intuitive best. Your intuitive best, man. So trust your soul and take a risk. That's, I think, step number. You have seek altitude. You have joy are us. Create joy through love. Let there be light. And now trust your soul and take a risk. I hope you're taking these down. Here's another one. Giddy up with a few light brigade riders. You got them here right now. Giddy up with a few light brigade riders and create something from the synergy of your God sparks. Your sparks going off with my sparks. And everybody's sparks, they just don't know they're sparking. They're too down in the dumps. Remember, I told you can't look down. You got to keep looking up. Let's get some sparks flying between us, soul rebels. Leave your mind thinking and old worn out methods back at the copycat stables. Unleash your creator who is bursting to create a new song, a new perspective, a new awakening, and a new world through you. Let's ride. Let's ride, rebels. How many times have we talked about that? Let's ride. Let's spark each other. Come on. Let's lift each other up. Let's see things from a whole new perspective today with God glasses on and be dreaming his dream, not our dream. We've given back our God dream to him. Here's another one. Marshal your resources so you and Source kick butt on devil's advocates. Pull out your double swords. Doubt slayer and devil advocate slayer. Start with the one inside of you that keeps stopping you from pushing forward with complete faith. Fearless faith into an energized, soul-tuned existence. Fearless faith, first chakra. Total trust, second chakra. These are big words. They're the foundation of these principles. There's the foundation of all principles, the immutable principles of God. Fearless faith, no doubts allowed, and total trust, no questioning allowed. Oh God, why is this happening? Oh, because you had your mind set on something that what didn't have God with it, right? You have to have God. If you're going to dream about something you want in the future, you better have God have already stamped it. the transcendental Lord stamp. You can go with that thought because I'm with you and you're with me. All right. But not to do anything without God's kind of stamp. It's saying, my will is that the same thought that you have, that same desire you have. Then he gives you the stamp because you're allowing divine will to take over your human will. Push forward, no matter what, from this day on. Never look back, or you'll turn into your own worst enemy. Be relentless in earning the purple belt of Arjuna consciousness, who is on fire to master himself and return home to oneness everlasting. Go for it, Arjuna and Arjunis, go for it. And finally, when all else fails, and even in spite of yourself, know for certain your soul is going to win the game of life. Okay. So that takes care of being mastery of yourself. That's what Yama represents. And wouldn't you really, aren't you inspired now to go after this self-mastery? Because now you can control when you leave the body, like Yogananda. They know when they're going to go, how they're going to go. So there's no disruption. There's no, this isn't my time, Lord, and all that. Exactly, and you're wide awake. You have a mahasamadhi where you don't feel any pain. You go across because your heart is filled with God, and then there's God's there, and the pickup is smooth. It's going to be smooth anyway because you have the master's promise on that. But you want to be on smooth cruise at that point, right? So we better start that today. Be on smooth cruise. Totally God's stream today. There's no other thought I'm going to allow into this brain through God's grace today, except those that are of his immutable principles. I have a saying that every human being has been given a notice from God to report to the principal's office. PRINCPLE, principal. Is that the principal of a principal versus the principal, PAL, the principal's office? We need to be riding and cruising on the wisdom principles, the immutable wisdom principles, right? Smooth cruise, sailing with the wisdom principles. So we'll gladly go to see the principal, right? We'll go to his office, the transcendental Lord's office of this universe and beyond. Okay, so here's verse 30, kids. I want to catch some of these. These are gems today. Among the Daityas, they're the demons and the giants. Daityas, Daityas. You can pronounce it any way you want. Demons and giants. I am Prahlada. Prahlada, Prahlada. Remember that word, Prahlada. Among measures, I am time. Among the animals, I am king of the beasts. I'm the lion king. And among birds, I am Garuda, lord of the skies, vehicle of Vishnu. The Daityas are mythologically a class of demons and giants. They have this thing on Netflix where it's Thor come back, but he comes back into a kind of a village that has in the cold. And anyway, he doesn't know his story yet. He has his memory kind of whacked out. Now he's starting to wake up to his. Now the giants there are fighting him. So it's a class of demons and giants who warred against the gods, because he's a god, Thor's a god. So he's fighting demons and giants in this series on Netflix. They are, the Daityas are the offspring of Diti, D-I-T-I, Diti, 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 the antithesis or polar opposite of Aditi. Remember the Adityas? They're the shining ones. So these Daityas are the opposite. They're the negative force. They're the negative force. They're the offspring of Diti, the antithesis or polar opposite of Aditi, the mother of the Adityas, the shiny gods. As the Adityas are the divine uplifting creative forces, the Daityas, D-A-I-T-Y-A-S, are the dual or opposing matter-bent forces. So it's just a classic Marvel movie right here. You have the worst of the villains and you have the best of the heroes. The Daitya, Prahlada, he was of the demons and the giants, the negative force here. He was a Daitya. So Prahlada, though, however, from early childhood shunned all evil ways and became God-minded. What a day for a God dream. I'm just a wisdom-hearted boy and girl, right? He decided, I won't have anything to do it. It's a little similar to my story a little bit, and many others, I'm sure. They weren't going to buy into the status quo, so everyone will take a different road that way. But I took one to say, I want to be like Yogananda. I want to be love-minded and God-minded. I want to love like him. That was the big reason. His name, Prahlada, signifies one who is full of divine blessedness and who rejoices in divine joy. We, as God-minded soul rebels, are full of divine blessedness that comes every time you remember the beloved, every time you whisper her name, every time you sit still and just feel the loving presence. And many other ways, infinite ways. One who rejoices in divine joy. See, that was one of our steps too, right? Joy are us, generate more love in your heart, and love brings a vibration of joy. And then all of a sudden you're in ever new joy. Rejoice, rejoice in the light of your soul. Rejoice, rejoice, we're going home. And I promise you there's gonna be dancing and a whole lot of loving. And I promise you there's gonna be dancing and a whole lot of loving as we sing our song of jubilation and we praise our Lord for our salvation. Rejoice, 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 rejoice in the light of our soul. Rejoice, 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 we're going home. Prahlada is referred as, is revered. Prahlada, that one who's just going to say, nope, sorry world, I'm not going to buy into you this round. I'm going for it. I'm going to be totally God's and God alone. I'm going to be like him, as him, one with him, because I am that, Tat Famasi. Prahlada is revered as the exemplary devotee. He endured the wrath and persecution of his father. So can we endure the wrath, the anger of others, and the persecution that comes from others through misunderstanding and on and on and on? Can we? Can we endure that? Well, once being that way, right? Remember, he was a Daitya. He was the bad guy. But he said, nah, not in this life. I'm changing the course of the direction of my lifetimes. He endured the wrath and persecution of his Father and remain unflinching in his devotion. So unflinching in our devotion we are. In India, children are exhorted by their parents to become saintly like Prahlada. When the yogi reverses the delusion-bound forces in his body. So really being a wisdom seeker, we are in absolute in reverse. We're the reverse of everything the world is about. Everything, complete reverse. We're going the other way, right? Single-hearted, single-minded devotion. Absolute reverse, man. When the yogi reverses the delusion-bound forces in his body, turning them Godward, he becomes Prahlada. So you got it in reverse? You know, like a human idea comes without God, then you put it right in reverse. So you bring some love into your heart and it becomes with God, and you give it to God and you make sure you're loving with God around that idea. And then when you get the stamp, right? By the way, remember that thermometer, the thermostat that you have in your heart center to control the climate of self-control? Remember? I wanted to put that up there with Yama in that mastery, self-mastery over your life principles, right? Your life force, your every part of your human being part of you is going to be, kind of guided by this heart intuition. So you're always making a choice before you even decide on the choice. You're in your heart, you're pouring love into it, so it's blessed by God, and you know it, and you get the stamp, and then God's will is through your will. That's a Prahlada. And like that Holy One attains union with God. So turning Godward, as we reverse the delusion-bound forces in our body, turning them Godward, we become Prahlada, and like that Holy One attains union with God. Look at these two. Look at these two aspects of you. And we're not these aspects of God. Remember how I keep saying, you got to think of God as you. You're not a human anymore, my dear. You're a Prahlada, total, 100%. You're a Yama. You're pranayama, wisdom Yama. Your controlled wisdom, your controlled love, devotion, your controlled mastery over yourself, self-controlled. So you ready to learn about Father Time? Let me just give you another little reading from my stash, okay? This goes with our first chakra. Relax, let go, let God. Perfect foundation of our life. Relax, let go, let God. Hand it all over to God, right? You've got to have enough time in to recognize a thought that is without that God presence, and your choice that's coming after that thought about whatever. We've got to swing it back, get into our principles, go to the principal's office and make sure you are going to pour so much love into this that it's going to be aligned with God. Then make the choice with God. Then you're on your way. But first chakra, here's about resting in the deep assurance, as it says in Jesus Calling. Rest in the deep assurance of my unfailing love. Let your body, mind, and spirit relax in my presence. Release into my care anything that is troubling you. Anything and everything that's troubling, release in God's care. Exactly what we're saying this morning, and always do. Anything that is troubling you so that you can focus your full attention on me. Full attention in the heart, faith, F-A-I-T-H, full attention in the heart. You've got to have it so deep inside. You've got to have it so deep inside. You've got to have faith, full attention in the heart. You've got to have faith, full attention in the heart. You've got to have FAITH. You have to have full blowing faith. You got to get back into your heart. You got to have faith. Focus your full attention on me. Release into my care anything that is troubling you so you can focus your full attention on me. Be awed by the vast dimensions of my love for you. First shock, where you go and hand over your life. Your life is a mess. You can't control it. You're done. You can't go back, or you're going to be super sick and dead in a short time. Dead to any possibilities, right? That we're going to be awed by the vast dimensions of the love. God's love for us, wider, longer, higher, and deeper than anything you know. Rejoice that this marvelous love is yours forever. Isn't that a beautiful? That's December 28th, Jesus calling. Isn't that an amazing reading? Isn't that an amazing truth that we rejoice in, right? Because that's what we carry right here in the spiritual eye, in our vision of visions, is to be that truth. Is to be able to sit, relax, and just be awed by the vast dimensions of God's infinite love for us, wider, longer, higher, and deeper than anything we could ever know. Rejoice that this marvelous love is yours forever. And then this beautiful thing came from one of SRF's meditation groups. It looks like it come from, one of the Latin countries. That's a quote from Yogananda, and he's walking with a lot of people, and he's in the front, and you can see he wasn't quite there. He was kind of in ecstasy, and he says, this was a November 28th gratitude that was in the spiritual diary. Hey, why is everyone coming and popping on with their heads? Come on, get off there. Turn off your videos and audios. Just see me. Just see yourself. That's me. All right. Nothing in this world, Yogananda says, is as divinely intoxicating as my beloved God. He's just drunk, and everyone else seems to be drunk too. They're walking like probably was a little procession of some kind. I drink unceasingly of that nectar. O aged wine of my soul, as I drink of thee from the ocean within me, I find thou art inexhaustible. Inexhaustible. You tap into your soul. You tap into the inexhaustible source of everything wonderful, right? Within you. Oh, it's so worth it to put it in reverse, absolute reverse from what an ordinary, just a regular old person's going to do, right? Because you're not just natural, you are supernatural. O aged wine of my soul, as I drink of thee from the ocean within me, I find thou art inexhaustible. Thou art a sky full of happiness. I am the sky, mother. I am the sky. I am the sky, mother. I am the sky. I am the vast blue ocean of sky. Thou art a sky full of happiness that displays all the stars of the universe ever throbbing in my heart. Right now. Because you want to hear about Father Time now? You want to hear talk about a hoax? Talk about fake news? Time and space and calendars, watches. You ready? You ready to hear what the real truth is about time and space? Okay. Time. This is bottom of page 795. Time and its corollary space as observed in the world of relativity are, you ready? Man-made. Man-made. It's like, yes, GMO. This has GMOs. This has fillers. This has those things that keep it preserved. Right? That's what that means, man-made. Man-made. Except for those rare souls that are waking up here and they realize, no, we can't serve people junk. And they come up with some very good products and supernatural living, mostly the God dream, mostly that, because food alone ain't going to do it, right? We want that. We don't live by food alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of God. We want to be pronatarians. We want to be joyitarians. We want to be let there be lightitarians. We want to be seek altituditarians, right? So time and its corollary space as observed in the world of relativity are man-made categories suggested by nature's power of illusion. So it's an illusion number as well. And because we just look outward, then that illusion affects us, and then we have our man-made categories that has been suggested by nature's power of illusion and applied to a series of changes happening in God. So all the changes in this world, somehow we put on God. Why do you allow this to happen? This shouldn't happen, blah, 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 right? Instead of having trained ourselves to know what death is all about, no matter how tragic of a death. That God picked up that soul and they had a conversation. He showed them around. They were in so much love and light. And then that's so he said, do you want to stay or go? And that soul said, I want to stay. He said, well, you can go and burn off his karma. No, I want to stay. And then he's going to listen and you're going to stay on the other side. People don't see that. They only see how they are. And if they have no control over their thoughts and their feelings and their life, it's going to be a tragedy, my dears. And that energy is really, really, really low vibration for our world. To be stuck in that. This is why we've got to be Yama now. We have to be self-masters of ourselves, self-mastery of ourselves, and Prahlada, right? We're going to shun, even though I had evil inclinations, even though I have those, even though I still have lustful inclinations, I'm leaving that. I'm putting it in reverse right here and now. And I'm going to drive full speed backwards into my mother's infinite womb, okay? And then she's going to carry me, and I have nothing in the world to even consider. Nothing at all. So these are man-made categories suggested by nature's power of illusion and applied to a series of changes happening in God. There's a nice quote here, but I don't think I've read it a bunch, but it's a doozy. It's a Song of the Earth Spirit by Goethe. In his, I guess he wrote Faust. Anyway, I'll read it because it's very poetic. In the tides of life in action, the storm, a fluctuant wave, a shuttle free, birth and the grave, an eternal sea, a weaving, flowing life, all glowing. Thus at times humming loom, 'tis my hand prepares the garment of life, which the deity wears. Pretty good. That's the bottom of 79.5. Okay, more about time. God, Yogananda says, is the eternal consciousness, unchanging and indivisible. I am the eternal consciousness, you could say, unchanging and indivisible, in which the illusions of time, change, and space division present an infinite variety of forms, interacting in a progressive mode of past, present, and future. I don't want to be a part of that parade, man. I just want to be in this eternal consciousness. So Yogananda goes on to say, when a dreamer travels around the world in his dream, he does so not in space and time, but in his consciousness only. Similarly, the cosmic dream that we are in right now is occurring neither in vast space nor in a series of past, present, and future time. It's not happening in space, because it's kind of unseen. You can't really see time. But in the eternal now. So the cosmic dream is occurring neither in vast space nor in the series of past, present, and future time, but in the eternal now of God's dream consciousness. The eternal now of God's dream consciousness. What a glorious day for a God dream. I'm telling you, it's the only way. May I weave only sweet dreams, for they are thy dreams. Yeah, may I weave only sweet dreams of noble achievements, for they are thy dreams, for they are thy dreams. Because Jesus was attuned to this eternal consciousness, he could say, before Abraham was, I am. He knew his everlastingness. He knew his everlastingness. Kids, can you sit still for a bit today and just muse in the dream of everlastingness, in joy, in peace, in whatever soul quality you want to pull up, and know it's everlasting, the highest wisdom that you can hold, and hold it for as long as you can? Can you dream like that today? That I am everlastingness. I am everlastingness. My joy is everlastingness. My love is everlasting. My compassion is everlastingness. Wow. He knew his everlastingness was in no manner interrupted by the elusive changes called birth, existence, and death. You are imperturbable, right? Nothing can get your goat today. Nothing can interrupt this illusion of change, birth, existence, and death. Cannot interrupt your peace at all.
Raleigh.
Your joy, rejoicing at all. Your happiness and the thought that you are as pure as snow in your one-on-one with the beloved. You're hiding nothing. You're revealing everything. You're giving the care of yourself into that great light and into the arms, however you want to look at it, and just say, I am everlasting. Divine Mother's love. I'm everlasting peace. Isn't that a beautiful idea? Just like let's love and see light. Be love and see light. That was the other little mantra for today. Be love and see light. And now I am everlasting.
There's nobody there.
I am everlastingness. And I am no way interrupted by the changes of this illusory world and my mind and my emotions and what happens in these outer so-called events. God, here's another line, just like time is man-made, God has no respect for history. So anyone who's a historian, you can, just have God with you when you study history. Just have God with you. You don't need to know that history is an illusion. All right. You don't have to know that. Just have God with you. He'll show you that you don't have to give all of your life over to studying history. Why? Right? Or know anything about it. Just the eternal now consciousness of God. That's what he's dreaming. And his dream is like as real as can be here. It's much more real than this physical condensed formlessness into this frozen object called a human that doesn't have any sense of anything. Right? If we're not careful. God has no respect for history. Man's limited and erroneous measuring conceptions of time and space. Another man thing. Now you're going to, when we get to the king of beast, the lion, the king soul, the lion king soul of us and queen soul of us, you're going to see that we have been given the honor from God to to manage this physical world. I'd rather have the dogs take over. They should do a great series on TV, Dog People. Not, dogs taking over and changing the world bit by bit in their leadership. Do you know that David Hawkins is Power versus Force, and he measured the map of consciousness and the states of consciousness that we're in, from the lowest 5 to the highest 5, and gave them numbers, like unconditional love is a very high thing. He says when a dog wags its tail, that's unconditional love. That's 500. It's one of the highest states anyone can be in. And when a cat purrs, it's a 500. Every time I see my dog's tail sway, I feel unconditional love. That's all. Now I have that association. Can you imagine if you made associations with things like that? To always bring you back to who you really are. Unconditional love, for example, everlastingness, be love, see light. Bang. God has no respect for history, man's limited and erroneous measuring conceptions of time and space, for he can produce any past. This is amazing. God can produce any past being, object, or event instantaneously. If you want to see, well, did he really foul him on that play? Did this person really die of natural causes, right? Whatever. When you're one with God, he'll show you anything. You can go far as past as you want. If you want history, he'll show you a little bit of history. This is why you seek God first, and everything else will come to you, my dears, right? Because he, in an instant, can pull up a past being, object, or event instantaneously in his ever-present dream consciousness. Ever-present, eternal now dream consciousness. Eternal now dream conscious. Ever-present, eternal now dream consciousness. Likewise, in a second, he can dissolve this world and its beings. In a second, boom. We're going to be that good, pulling back from a thought, pulling back from, in fact, that won't even come in, because we'll have created a shield of light around us, right? Where that thing everything boomerangs off it before it even gets to your consciousness. Your consciousness is too high. It comes to the certain wavelength around you, the aura around you, and I ain't going to get into that. So it's too bright. It's too full of light. I got to go the other way, right? You can dissolve this world and its beings, or the entire cosmos, and then bring them back at will, just as they were. You can just, a night of Brahma, boom, and then a day of Brahma, boom, can happen within seconds. All he has to do is stop dreaming. This world, and it ceases to be. Again, can you sit down and stop, pause, take love breaks today, take peace breaks today, stillness breaks today, and the world stops, and you stop dreaming of this world, and it ceases to be? The only reality is more light, more love, more incoming love. Isn't it beautiful? What a day for a God dream, my dears. What a day for a God dream. I should probably call this dream, what a day for a God dream. They called it God-minded, but maybe. We'll see. Or he can dream it back again by materializing it in his consciousness. So don't worry if you drop the world from your consciousness for a while. It's going to come back if you're going to be still in the body, right? So he can dream it back again by materializing it in his consciousness. These capricious categories of time and space are offshoots of the cosmic dreamer's fancy. All the variation and categories of time and space that humans come up with, and all this stuff, are offshoots of the cosmic dreamer's fancy. He's digging this thing, man and woman. By divine imaginings, dream pictures of universes can be made to appear by divine imaginings. Can you imagine what you can divinely imagine today? Infinite things. And if it's just God dreams, oh, come on. You're smiling from ear to ear, from ear to ear. You're giggling like the Dalai Lama. You're as happy as a clam at high tide. You're rejoicing on everything. Doesn't matter. You see things totally in reverse of how other people see it. So by divine imaginings, dream pictures of universes can be made to appear and disappear in the tiniest space. It's just this space. And the minutest moment in a single frozen thought of the cosmic dreamer. What? In a single frozen, see, everything has to get frozen, condensed, weighed out to see any material thing at all. So he can have this whole thing through the dream pictures of universes can be made to appear and disappear in the tiniest space and minutest moment in a single frozen thought in the cosmic dreamer. I remember I found a quote from Yogananda that never heard any of the ministers ever quote. And Yogananda said it word for word. God, Yogananda said, this dream of God is like a tiny, slimy egg of thought. This world is a tiny, slimy egg of thought in the mind of God. So you can have it, whatever you're thinking is also creating the absolute sane vibe frequency of that thought. It's putting it out there and it's coming back at you. What a day for a God dream. So let's just finish this thing about time and then we'll end and we'll look at the king of beasts and the bird next time, Garuda, okay? We'll get through 2 or 3 of these ones of this well, we talked about Prahlada, right? And now we're talking about, and then, Yama we started because we were finishing the verse 30. Okay. And then we talked about Prahlada after the Yama. And then we're talking about Father Time. We're going to end Father Time. I'm going to end the stream. How's that, kids? Devotees who realize the dream nature of this cosmos and the dreaming power of God. Devotees who realize the dream nature. Life is a dream. Stay awake. Stay awake. Life is a dream. I am awake. I am awake. Devotees who realize the dream nature of this cosmos and the dreaming power of God no longer rely on the misleading illusions of nature's measures. He no longer relies on what people say. He only relies on what the truth says. I added that. But God no longer relies on the misleading, or those devotees no longer rely on the misleading illusions of nature's measures and conclusions from which make creation seem often harsh and unjust. It has nothing to do with it. He's in reverse. She's in reverse. She's only seeing the light. She's only being the love. She's only affirming, I am everlastingness. I am everlastingness. They look to the eternal consciousness instead. They look to the eternal consciousness, the soul time, S-O-L-E, the soul time that knows no distress of change. Death is a change. Immutable time referred to in 1033. In verse 33, coming up, referred to. Yeah, he says, I am immutable time in the verse, some verse coming up. So we're going to get more about time. Immutable time, eternal consciousness. So wasn't that a nice, expansive, isn't it? This been a nice, expansive, heart-filling, mind-quieting, soul-awakening, just inflow this morning? Thank you, dears. Thank you from the bottom of my heart by being true to yourselves. I hope you had a beautiful Thanksgiving. And I hope that that Thanksgiving is so consistent within you that it can only bring so many presents in the holy days coming up. So many presents, so many moments of being with presence, his ever loving presence, in the eternal now loving presence. So many glorious moments. That's all we have to focus on right now. We turn to that eternal consciousness of God instead of to the way that the world operates. We are in reverse. We are dreaming a God dream. And so it is. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Amen. Bless our us. Joy our